Hey guys, I hope you're doing well, and today I want to talk about TypeScript interfaces. So let's get started and let's jump in the code. So here you can see I have two variables. First is person name, the second is user. Let's try to define their types. All right, so let's start with the person name, right? So we can see it takes a string. So we're going to define its type as a string. All right, and this will work perfectly fine. If I try to add a number here, that will give an error that type number is not assignable to type string. Makes sense. So now I'm just going to make it string again and it will work fine, right? Now let's take this object, right? How can we make a object have a type? All right, and that's where interfaces comes in. So you can so interfaces are like defining an interface for an object or defining a type for an object. All right, so in simple words, so what we're going to do is we're going to define an interface. So we're going to just say interface, and then we're going to define all the property needed for the user in this interface. So going to say interface user, and we're going to define the types, right? So for example, what I'm going to do is I'm also going to define this as the type. So as we will move along, and it will give us like error and stuff, right? So let's go here and say name string, not like this, but name string, right? And then we'll say, type name string age number, this is not assignable to type user because type user only have name string, right? So I can be like age as a number. This will become fine, but then the personal data needs to be defined as well. So now if I go and define personal data as NA, this will work, right? But then again we hit a roadblock, right? The personal data in itself is an object. So how we are going to define a type for a nested object? It's the same answer as the interface, So what you're going to do is you're going to create another interface and then going to use it as a nested type. So this can be any type, right? So we're going to define like the type as the personal data, right? And what we're going to do is we're going to define other interface called personal data interface personal data, and then I'm going to define all these properties, right? Like password, and say it's a string, right? Now it works fine, right? So password is fine. It says it's a string, but here it will again throw an error that does not exist in type personal data. So now we have to define the secret key as well. So I'm just going to copy and paste it. So it's a string again, and then if it is working, then I can just be like, oh, it's a boolean. And you can also have a look at the syntax. So syntax, it's like the key name and the type and then the semicolon, and you can also have like nested interfaces. So yeah, that's interface in a nutshell. It's, if you want to define a type for an object, that's how you do it in TypeScript using interfaces. I hope you like this video. And if you like this video, please don't forget to share and like this video, and also subscribe to the channel if you can. If you want me to build specific videos on specific topics, do let me know in the comment section, and I'll see you in the next video. All right.